Since Bungie has announced hand cannons are getting buffed, I'm going to be going over my top hand cannons to get for PvE, and if you might be bored, you should start farming for these hand cannons. So starting out, we have Sunshot. Sunshot is the only 150 RPM hand cannon left in the game, and this pairs really well with solar builds. What makes it so good is its exotic perk, Sunblast, which when killing an enemy, they explode into solar energy, which can hit nearby enemies and spread scorch, as well as its intrinsic trait, Sunburn, which gives this weapon explosive rounds. Sunshot has always been one of my most used hand cannons for PvE, and when this hand cannon buff gets here, I'm excited to use this with my solar builds. Sunshot is a random drop exotic, meaning there is no quest for it, you just have to get lucky from exotic engrams in order to get it. Now another really good exotic hand cannon is Malfeasance. Malfeasance has been rising up in the charts in terms of usage for PvE. Pair this with Lucky Pants on Hunter on top of the Catalyst it got this season that gives it Vorpal weapon. You will see yourself melting bosses and champions with just this hand cannon. You can also get bonus damage if someone shoots with a horde on the enemy you are shooting with your Malfeasance, and you can get this from a quest line through Gambit. It is definitely one of the more challenging exotic quests to do, but it is definitely worth it in the end. This is the best hand cannon for PvE right now, and I can't wait to see how strong it will be once it gets buffed again. We're getting into some legendary hand cannons. If you want a legendary Sunshot, Zalu's Bane might be what you're looking for. This drops from the King's Fall raid and is craftable. The perk combination of explosive payload and incandescent, which is basically Sunshot, makes it an ag clearing machine. Not only are you spreading scorch to nearby targets just like Sunshot, but you also get the extra damage thanks to explosive payload. So once again, a legendary Sunshot. It has always been a top option for Grandmaster Nightfalls and other content where you want to use your hand cannon to stun champions. And this is another weapon that pairs really well with solar builds, but you don't even have to run a solar build for it to be good. The perk combination of explosive payload and incandescent will do all the work for you. Definitely craft this roll as soon as you can. Even right now, this roll is a ton of fun to use even without the buff being here. Another good raid hand cannon is Fatebringer. Get yourself a Time Loss 1 through Templar challenge on Master, and you'll have explosive payload Firefly guaranteed. Time Loss Fatebringer is a great kinetic hand cannon. I've always seen myself using it in PvE. It's one of those weapons that just has that feel to it that really just can't be explained. This is one of the easier ones to get as well, since you only need to do the challenge once. However, if you don't want to do that, the normal version of Fatebringer will be fine too. And why not include another raid hand cannon, and this one is going to be Posterity. This hand cannon drops from Deepstone Crypt. Perk combination I like is Volt Shot or Reconstruction, paired with Frenzy for the 15% damage increase. This is a really good arc hand cannon, however 180 RPMs seem to be lacking overall, but this is still a really good hand cannon that you should definitely craft. And one more raid hand cannon worth mentioning is Nation of Beasts from Last Wish. This is another arc hand cannon that can roll Dragonfly in the first slot as well as in the second slot. We have Volt Shot and Explosive Payload to pair it with. This is a really solid hand cannon overall, and you should definitely farm Last Wish next time it's Pinnacle to get it crafted. Next on our list, if you're a fan of stasis builds and you want a good hand cannon to pair it with, Ice Luna might be what you're looking for. Perk combination of Outline Headstone is what separates it from other hand cannons. I really wouldn't use this in PvE if I wasn't on a stasis build, so if this is something that you're looking for, head into Aggressive Avarice and farm the final boss to get your hands on one. There's also the 7 Seraph Officer Revolver from the Spire of the Watcher dungeon. The perk combination for this that I like is Reconstruction as well as Redirection or Vorpal weapon. Being able to have like 22 shots in the magazine thanks to Reconstruction. Pairing that with Vorpal weapon on top of the hand cannon buff, it's going to be absolutely nasty. So you definitely want to farm for a god roll in the Spire of the Watcher dungeon and get your hands on this. Some other good exotic hand cannons worth mentioning for PvE are Thorn for that poison damage, Ariana's Vow since it has intrinsic barrier and already hits hard, as well as Lumina, which is a great support exotic, and maybe with the buff will become more than that. We'll just have to wait and see. There's also other hand cannons like Last Word, Hawk Moon. There's the Kilos hand cannon. There's a bunch, but these are just the ones that I see myself using the most in higher end content. We could also see Crimson get more use in PvE thanks to its exotic perk, Cruel Remedy, which kills with this weapon will heal you, as well as Precision Kills will refill the magazine. So not only will you be able to not have to reload quite often, but you also get your health back on kills. So that's gonna be it for this list. Let me know your thoughts on it, as well as what hand cannon you're going to be farming and looking out for when hand cannons do get buffed. So for the video, I'll see you all in the next one, alright? Peace.